Meanwhile, staying in the West, the Grizzlies announced Saturday Ja Morant would be away from the team for at least 2 games after he appeared to display a gun in an Instagram live video he posted from a nightclub early Saturday morning, which prompted an investigation from the NBA. Ja released a statement on the incident. This was Saturday, saying, "I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to get help, work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being." The first game Morant missed was yesterday against the Clippers, and before the game, his coach, Taylor Jenkins, gave an update on when Morant could possibly return.
We take it very seriously. There's 2 elements to this that I want to make very clear. There's a supportive element, someone that's, got to get better and needs some help. But then also there's accountability to the team that we got to stand for. So obviously nationwide, league-wide, there's a lot of attention on gun violence. And, for us internally in this matter, that's the stance that we've taken about how we can support Ja throughout this growth opportunity. It's a learning opportunity, and then hopefully we can be better from it.
Okay, here's a little context. Ja Morant and his associates have been involved in a series of incidents over the past year. Last summer, they were involved in a confrontation with mall security as well as an alleged altercation with a 17-year-old. In both incidents, no charges were filed. On January 29th, Morant's acquaintances were involved in an incident with the Pacers traveling party leading up to Saturday morning, when Morant appeared to show a gun on IG Live. Okay, Stephen A., a serious situation here. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Who? I didn't hear you, Molly. Who are you going to?
To you, Stephen A., what are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, first of all, I want to applaud Ja Morant for the statement that he made, because I thought it was the right thing to do. Although we didn't see him, the statement read the way it was supposed to read. He accepted full accountability, and I think we have to give him credit for that. I also think that, there's a level of sensitivity and compassion that we need to be open to here, because he's acknowledging that he needs help. And we live in a day and time where obviously issues pertaining to someone's psyche, someone's mental health has really come to the forefront. We see professional athletes from Naomi Osaka to Ben Simmons and beyond, although some people would throw aside Ben Simmons. The reality of the situation is that mental health has really come into the forefront of our minds in this day and age, and we can't ignore that any longer. Having said all of that, I'll reiterate what I said on Countdown on Saturday night. And I hope that Ja Morant, his father T. Morant, and all of his boys are listening to what I'm about to say. Ja Morant is a superstar. You're 23 years of age. You signed a contract extension that kicks in, I believe, after this season, that could exceed $231 million over the next 5 years. And we're here talking about you with guns and police. Do you really, really think that's going to help you? He knows better, which is why he issued the statement that he issued. I applaud his teammates, all of them, for standing up the way that they did and saying that he's family and supporting him, because he needs all the support. All of us in the NBA community should support him. We ain't trying to knock him down. We ain't trying to sit up there and denigrate him or anything like that. We're rooting for him because we want to see this brother's star shine brightly day after day, week after week, season after season for the next decade, because he's that kind of mercurial talent. But it is important to point out that when I think about Ja Morant, you know what? It's a tough position when you're 23 years old and you're making the kind of money that you're making, because one of the things that we don't talk about enough is that with that bag, with those dollars, come an incredible level of responsibility, because you're now the leader, because people have to be deferential to you because they want to protect their position within your life. Okay? And so we understand that. And as a result, you're not held accountable the way that you should in most instances, and trouble ultimately breeds from that. To his dad, I would say to him, sir, love and respect to you. Love seeing you at the games and what have you. I would remind you, sir, you are his daddy. You are not his boy. And the reality of the situation is that on far too many occasions, remember when there was the altercation in the Staples Center involving Shannon Sharp and stuff like that? The dad ended up in the middle of that. You know, you see his boys. I met some of these brothers, good brothers as far as I'm concerned, love their boy, Ja Morant. My advice to y'all, protect the asset. The fact of the matter is he is the asset. Not only don't get yourself involved in stuff like according to the rumors and the reports emanating out of Indianapolis when there was some laser being pointed at the Pacers players and stuff like that, and we didn't know who that is. That is bad for business. And more importantly, just as important, when you're dealing with Ja Morant, it's your job to protect him, not just to make sure that you conduct yourself appropriately, but you got to make sure you prevent him from doing things stupid that would compromise his stature and his bag. These are all things that are incredibly important. We say this stuff, but we really, really don't regurgitate it to the degree that it should be regurgitated. And my last comment is this, before I give it to y'all, especially you, Big Perk, as a former champion and a player in this league who's played with about 10 NBA Hall of Famers. You know this stuff backwards and forwards. Wendy, you've been covering the league for so many years, doing a great job that you've been doing. I'm going to say this, and I would like y'all to just nod your head with affirmation when I say this. To the NBA players, to their hanger-ons, their boys, their family members, and everybody in between. Please understand that the NBA knows everything. They know everything. They got off-duty police officers. You got former FBI agents, connections with the DEA, and beyond. They know everything. Everything they want to know. They know where you go. They know where you party. They know who you messing around with. They know if you on the sauce. They know if you puffing and passing. They know everything. Everything. And if you are from, and this is the thing that drives me crazy, Kendrick, especially to you. We from the streets. The fact of the matter is, you know and I know, a lot of us come from neighborhoods where you got people doing stuff to one another for hundreds of dollars. Well, what you think the NBA is going to do to protect a multi-billion-dollar establishment? The same is applicable to the NFL and all of these other leagues. Pay attention. There was a video on social media the other day where they were showing some old clip of Carmelo Anthony and how he was talking about a meeting he once had with former commissioner David Stern, where David Stern sat him down and let him know, we know everything. We know where you're at, who you're with, who your boys are, the company you keep. We know everything. Okay? And if they know everything, eventually, we're going to know everything. We might not find it first in the first hour or the first day, but it don't take us long as the fourth estate, the media, to know. We know 90% of the things we don't say. 90% of the things we don't even say, we know. We know who you with. We know what you're doing. You've got to chill. And I think this is important, and I think that's the message that needs to be sent to Ja Morant. And if he needs some help with Taylor Jenkins and what he's saying, needs help, it intimates or it gives the interpretation that there's a bigger problem going on. So now you're going to have people speculating about that, which is also something that's going to negatively affect you as an asset. Floor is y'all's.
You know, I actually saw this coming. And I'm very close with T. Morant and Ja Morant boys in this camp. Hell, I even had a relationship with Ja. And this summer I received a phone call, and I actually hit his pops up and his boys, and I said, hey, man, I got a phone call, man, just tell Ja to chill. This ain't nothing he needs to be doing. They brushed me off. Perk, we got, okay, cool. What the hell do I know? Like, I went through these situations. I got in trouble outside of nightclubs while I was playing. I actually got called in the Danny Ainge's office, and he said, Perk, stop smoking all those damn Black and Miles and put that weed down. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You know, we know what's going on. Like, they know. And at the end of the day, this is the problem with the African-American community, right? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing it to get applaud, to get a nod, to say, oh, yeah, man, you know what? He a real one. He a real one. He keep it real. Keep it real for who? You work your entire life to get out of a situation that you was in, to provide a better life for yourself, to secure your future, to secure your kids' future, your kids' kids' future, to get to this point, not to go back to relating or trying to please others. The thing is this, right? When it comes down to it, I hear a lot of people saying this. Man, he's dumb, man. How can you just blow a situation? And how can you do this? That was just stupid of them. First of all, to the people in the outside world that actually never been in this situation, you don't know how hard it is. You don't understand coming from nothing and all of a sudden having the world in the palm of your hands, having access to millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, riding private jets, doing whatever the hell you want at a young age, 23, 24, 25 years of age. You don't even understand because you've never been in that position. That's a hard position to be in. So that's why when I look at guys like LeBron James, when I look at guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I went to the game the other night and I was in Boston and I sat there and watched, and I couldn't applaud Jason Tatum enough because I see his mom and his son Deuce over there, and people could say whatever the hell they want. Oh, he's a mama's boy, or she protected him. He's on the right path. I done heard interviews where Jason Tatum talked about how he never touched his NBA check. I'm watching his professionalism. I'm watching how he carries